How long did it take to write the first book?
It took me 6 months. I did the first one when I was in the pen.
Yeah.
I still had my life sentence without the possibility of parole, and I was sitting there and I was thinking, I was like, wow, you may not never see another person under the age of 18 again. And I was like, well, you got so many messages that you would like to deliver to them. And this was during the time that they were executing Tookie Williams.
Right.
And I didn't know Tookie personally, but I had seen Tookie before, you know, at the park and so forth. So when they were getting ready to execute him, I felt so closely related to that story because when I used to see Tookie at the park, had I had the opportunity to hang out with Tookie, I would have hung out with him. You know, I would have been there. Yeah. And when they were getting ready to kill him, I was just thinking like how close I would have been to being whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like I could have been there with him when he did whatever.
For sure.
Right.
Or
easily.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when I saw that he had wrote a book and his book was nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize, I said, wow, what a change.
Yeah.
You know, to go from this guy who was supposedly, because I never saw him do a crime or nothing and never seen him beat nobody up or none of that, but just the reputation that he had.
Yeah, his reputation.
To go from there to now he's writing a book on Crippin' so that young kids can read that book and learn what Crippin' was all about and how it started and you know, just the insight. And I was like, wow, why don't you do a book for the kids who think about selling drugs?
Right.
And that's how my book came about. And I just felt that
to give that insight.
What an insight. You know, now you can make a logical decision. You know, you're not just coming up with a decision out of the air. You know, you can actually pick up a book and say, okay, from start to finish, more than likely this is how it's going to play out for you. And it took me like 6 months when I was in the pen. You know, we was doing like 4 hours a day, you know, because, you know, you get what they call writer's block where you just, you know, you can't remember shit. And I did it and then when I got out, I got with Kathy Scott, who was the editor, and she made it. Because, you know, I just had a bunch of yellow paper. You know, well, you don't know. You ain't been in there. But those yellow pads, I had a bunch of notes on yellow pads. And I was doing this day and that this day. And she took it and made sense out of all of it, you know, put it all together and made it a book.
Nice.
Me and her did that for about 3 months once I got out. So altogether, I say like 9 months.